This is Roger Maloney. Welcome to the Spotlight. Check out this exclusive interview with Jodi, Brockington, business consultant, on the Spotlight. Peace. Jodi, how you doing? Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you? Is it morning?
I think it could be morning. It could be afternoon.
I feel like I've been up for some time now. I've had a couple training sessions in.
This interview was long overdue.
Yes, it is.
My first question to you is, please tell me about your company. Tell me about everything that you're doing in terms of fitness first.
Okay.
Explain that to my audience.
Okay, well, fitness-wise, I've been an athlete all my life. My parents got me into sports, dance, you name it, after-school programs early on. Unfortunately, we just lost our great leader of Harlem Ballet, So I've done everything. So the sports came back into my life, or to teach fitness, because my father is sick. My father has Alzheimer's, which is really truly impacting the African American community. Kind of float in that river of denial until my father got the diagnosis.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, I actually had to put my strategic niche marketing firm kind of on hold and figure out another way to make money, stay healthy, and I was really curious about this mind-body connection that you lose when you have Alzheimer's. There's stuff sitting on your brain that's why the long-term memory, or things that you forget, or why you repeat yourself because you don't remember. So I brought health back.
Wow.
Also coming off from being sick myself, I had my gallbladder removed. And so trying to figure out what are the healthier ways to live, and it wasn't I wasn't healthy.
Wow.
And often it's just maybe stress related, mostly sleep. If you can just get more sleep every night, I keep trying to tell people sleep is so important, and I'm still working on that myself.
Right.
So I switched my career. I went and got certified in group fitness, personal training, nutrition, health, wellness, meditation, and even in some supplements, some shakes, things that you can use to kind of shift, not make a huge change, but small changes can really make big changes in your health. So learning how to do that with other people, have primarily focused with women, being one, and making sure that women who we usually put ourselves last can put ourselves first. So whether or not it was prenatal, postnatal, pre-high school reunion, right? You want to look your best. A college reunion. There's usually some catalyst that a woman's like, oh my God, I got to do something now, and then I kind of transition and keep them for a while. I do have some male clients. I'm not going to say I only exclusively work with women, but they are usually connected to other people I know.
Nice.
And really just wanting the best out of their lives and trying to balance, whether family or no family. But just a busy day. How do you calendar that in? How do you get it in? So I also train people via Skype.
Oh, wow.
Because not everyone is able to do it at a certain time, or they have an hour in their office so they can close the door. They turn me on Skype, and there I am. A lot of my clients travel internationally or live internationally, so different time zones. But Skype works, FaceTime works, GoToMeeting, Zoom. You name the platform, I have done it.
Nice.
So I've been able to make my business in the fitness business very digital.
Nice.
And really learned a lot more about Alzheimer's. I joined Maria Shriver's Women Alzheimer's movement. So it's WAM. Her father had it as well.
Oh, wow.
So here's another daughter-father situation. I recently spoke with Malik Yoba. His mother has it.
Oh, wow.
So to hear the dynamics of a son to a mother was also very interesting, and how that kind of really impacts your world. I mean, his mother was his manager for his business, and you kind of lose that. For me, my dad is my biggest cheerleader, my PR arm, since we are here at Adweek.
Yeah.
My dad was always the one coming to my events, the one who would talk me up, probably got me half of my first clients without knowing it and not knowing what I do. Very traditional work. But when you lose that, and you lose that connection, the mind-body connection, if it's not being made, it's not being made for so many reasons. And you don't have to have Alzheimer's to not do that. And throughout the day when you're busy, and you start, you have some fatigue. Some of it's you're not eating enough. People usually think dieting is eating less.
People on the run, eating, just grabbing anything they can.
Yes, so it's being mindful of that. What do you keep in your bag? I always have some almonds. I always have some kind of protein powder, some kind of energy drink mix that has some electrolytes, just to give you an up, not to rely on coffee. Right? I love Starbucks, but it's not what I'm going to first thing in the morning.
Right.
It's usually a social thing, and they have so many options now as well.
Right.
So trying to find the best things. I don't want people to give up their life unless there's something so medically important. But if you can just make small changes. So it's the idea of, are you eating 5 times a day? That's 3 meals and 2 snacks. Because your body needs to know that you love it. Mm-hmm. And so if they don't remember you didn't eat since yesterday, they're going to hold on to something, and they usually hold on to it exactly in places that you don't want, right?
Right.
And so your body's like, Jodi didn't love me yesterday, so I'm going to just hold that right here, right? So there's a balance between how much you have to work out. A lot of people think also that they need to kill themselves, right? It's not about the 90 PX and all the high intensity training.
90 PX.
It is about walking every day. It's about moving when you're on the phone. You don't have to sit still. Mm-hmm. Computers maybe. Now we have all these talking apps and things that you can move around a lot more. You're on the phone, get a headset. It's about monitoring your own life and your lifestyle and being mindful of it. And other people that you even work with as well. Remind someone else that it's lunchtime when you see that they're not getting up. Not that you have to go to lunch with them, but it's the idea that, and a lot of entrepreneurs like myself, you're working a lot of times by yourself or at home, or, you just don't really move as much as you could. Get it in early. Get it in late. Find a group. Find someone or a buddy. A buddy system really works well. And so I'm just it's just become part of my life.
Wow.
If you see my Instagram post or my social media stuff, there's always a mix of my feet moving really quick. If you can actually just walk a little faster than your normal pace and raise your heart rate a few more times a day, it makes a difference. Working out by yourself, even I'm lazy. I'm not going to hold a plank for 10 more seconds if I'm tired. If I don't see someone else around me struggling and shaking, I want to know that it's doing something. I take classes myself. As much as I train people, I have to also take classes. So when do I get those in? So as I look at my week, I'm like, okay, I have a window here, a window there. I'm going to have to get up at the crack of dawn to get it in. Take a 6 a.m. so I can get to my 8 a.m. on time, showered, clean, little makeup. So I think the health piece is really good.
The question I wanted to ask you, speaking of health piece, you did an excellent training with the Black Girls Who Code. Talk about that experience, because I was looking at those videos. Talk about the experience with the young ladies and what they had to go through being trained by you.
I was excited. Some friends of mine, I always take a chance to do something new when 10 or more FOJs, friends of Jodi, like you are, say, you should do this. So I kept getting these emails and inquiries about Black Girls Code. They have a summer camp every year in about 5 or 6 different cities, New York being one of them, Chicago, San Francisco at the home office. They have an office here. Where else? Can't really think of DC, but the dates didn't all work for my schedule. But I taught a group here in New York.
Wow.
They held the camp up at City College, so the girls would be there every day. And I would come. I only came a few times. It's kind of like regular camp, right? You go swimming, you have arts and crafts. For them, they were being given some fitness. So I had 3 days with them, and I did a meditation one day. So teaching folks who also are going to be coding and sitting and maybe working by themselves, a lot more cerebral, how to stay in your same space but kind of find yourself and mentally think of yourself being somewhere else. How do you block out the world? How do you give yourself a moment to breathe? And really got a lot of them to quiet down. Some of them even fell asleep.
I saw
and
that
sleep
in the video.
is important. Sleep's important. So that was one day. Then I did yoga, another. Just being able to be a little bit more flexible, also mindful, breathing better. Flexibility we lose as we get older. and a lot of folks just don't move that way, you know. So it was funny because a lot of them could probably, you know, be my children or grandchildren even, and they were like, "Oh my God, this is so hard," and it was hot. I give them credit because we were outside and it was humid this summer in New York City. And then the third day, I did a higher intensity kind of a boot camp, a mind-body boot camp. And I thought they were going to die, and they thought they were going to die. But it wasn't that it was so intense, but you're not used to it. So they got used to these 2 calm days, right? And then we raised the intensity. I also went and taught a group in Chicago, which was great.
Wow.
That's probably the videos that you saw.
Yeah.
Because a good friend of mine, her daughter was there with a video camera, and she was like, "Yeah, let's film it." And I was like, "Okay." So that one was in Chicago, held at a tech school, and once again did the same 3 workouts, but differently. And they had different space. They actually, you know, they provided the mats for the kids. Same thing in New York.
Nice.
Just a yoga mat, a water bottle can make your life so much better. So same thing, but they were really into it. They got it a little bit more than my New York crew. I think New York, everyone was just hot. And it was outside.
Yeah.
This was, you know, they looked forward to it. They were kind of upset that I wasn't coming back, which kind of was, it's always nice to be wanted.
Right.
But, you know, really talking about how they felt, you know, how exercise is important. And even some of the instructors and the camp counselors and volunteers in each groups also got involved and did the exercises. And they're like, "Oh, I wish I could do this every day." And I'm like, "You can. It doesn't take that much." But I really do think that there's this larger underbelly right now of obesity in communities of color, especially for our kids.
Because we're eating a lot of chicken, we're eating Caribbean food.
It's not but it's not eating. I think it comes to a bigger picture of emotional health, well-being, lack of movement, depression that we don't notice as depression, stress and anxiety from just being around, like here we are even in this environment and it's so loud. And if you can't block that out, or if you can't, it adds stress to your day. I mean, for me, I have stress every day. I'm thinking about my dad, you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about, oh my God, is my contract going to go through? Is it like, there's things that are constantly going through your head. And so think about that as a teenager. Does this guy like me? Does this girl like me? Oh my God, and the hormones they're trying to regulate. You know, oh, I'm not so cute. Oh, I don't like my hair. Like all of that. Like, you know, think of one big bubble, like of thoughts, and it's never ending. You know, and a child's activities and long day, and now you add on this coding, you add on tech. So for me, the other part of doing Black Girls Code kind of brought my new identity and my new vision of working with Culture Shift Labs. I am the chief of staff for Culture Shift Labs, which is a firm that is bringing diversity and inclusion and innovation to 2 major ecosystems, Black venture capitalists and Black and brown tech millennials. And I felt like if I also taught a next generation of tech millennials to be, right, our next generation of techies of color and girls that we keep saying we can't find or they don't exist, I wanted to say that I met them when, right? They couldn't even make a video game. They didn't even know HTML. They didn't know how to code. They didn't even really maybe know how to even open a computer. I mean, I remember having an Apple computer back in the day with just DOS and being excited to make a picture.
DOS. You remember DOS?
Yes. I was so excited when I made an ice cream cone, which was just really a rectangle and a triangle. But, you know, and 2 colors, woo, that was like doing stuff.
That is too funny.
So look at where we are. So I feel like I was part of the tech revolution without knowing it back in the day. And now, you know, I want these girls to remember it. When I would walk in, I'd say, oh my God, who has an app ready for me? Can anyone make me an app? And they're like, not yet. And I was like, okay. So the pressure. We definitely need to inspire this next generation. But if they're not healthy, what are they going to do? What do you do? You know, when you're sick, when I'm sick, things can't stop. So we all have to figure out things that can make money while we're sleeping, right? You can't have one place that your money's coming from.